the radio platform. Let me say good evening to you. Thank you so much for keeping it locked right here. And of course, we appreciate your company in a great deal. Without you, we cannot go the route that we want to go. We have to have you in the audience, and we appreciate you so much. Right? So stay with us here on Happy Radio at 9 o'clock tonight with the Weekends Gospel Show. And that will go up until somewhere around 12 o'clock or 11, somewhere there. But we want to thank you so much. Stay with us right now as we continue to broadcast to the world through this medium. Of course, it is NRP Radio, and we are ready to present our news to you. So why not go there right now? Good evening and welcome to our platforms, nrpmediaja.com, also Facebook and YouTube at nrpmediaja. It's Friday, February 16, 2024. I am Leon Nash with the NRP Evening News Roundup for today. The government, in the headlines though, the government continues to make progress in the implementation of the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission, JETC. Government has allocated funds totaling $6.261 million to two suppliers participating in the New Limb, New Life initiative. The opposition People's National Party cautions members of the public to be wary of the pronouncements of the government through their throne speech, and the party repeats call for the managing director of the National Housing Trust to resign. Police seeks public's help to solve murder of a popular entertainer, Medic. And in sports, Manchester City ended Chelsea's 22-game unbeaten home run. The news today is brought to you courtesy of NRP Radio, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations. Now the news in details. The government continues to make progress in the implementation of the recommendations of the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission, JETC. Some 365 recommendations are contained in the report produced by the Professor Orlando Patterson's chaired commission. In his throne speech to open the 2024-2025 parliamentary year at Gordon House on Thursday, Governor General His Excellency Sir Patrick Allen said the multi-year wide-ranging transformation exercise should enable the success of every learner. The Governor General noted that dialogue, partnerships, and feedback are essential to the success of this process, and as such, the Trend Transforming Education for National Development Initiative, to include a robust communication campaign, was launched with the tagline for a brighter tomorrow. Launched in July 2020, JETC was mandated to comprehensively review and assess Jamaica's education system, including its structure, operation, and processes, and to recommend an action plan to change. Prior to that, the last major comprehensive review of the national public education system was undertaken in 2004 by the Task Force and Educational Reform. The Governor General noted that a peaceful, productive, and prosperous Jamaica is predicated upon the quality of the education system. The legislative program for the 2024-2025 financial year will focus on the Jamaica Teaching Council Bill, amendments to the Education Act, and regulations, as well as the Overseas Examinations Commission Amendment Bill. The People's National Party is once again cautioning members of the public to be wary of the pronouncements outlined by the government in its throne speech and later the first sitting of Parliament for the 2024-25 session. Speaking at a press conference at the PNP headquarters yesterday, spokesman on finance and planning and the public service, Julian Robinson, said the pronouncements by the government were in many instances unrealistic. He spoke about the government's plan for social housing and the dismal performance in that area over the past year.
The social housing program. Since 2018, it has delivered 200 houses. So on average for the 5 years, that's 40 houses per year. But we are now projecting to deliver 500 in one financial year, when you have only been able to deliver 40 per year over the last 5 years. So you expect to increase by more than tenfold what you have done over 5 years. Not credible.
And Mr. Robinson also took a swipe at the government's recently announced Special Capital Expenditure Program initiative.
This is the third throne speech that I've heard about the Special Capital Expenditure Program for, in my constituency, I know about Lady Musgrave, Arthur Wind, and Campbell. The third throne speech. And whatever the issues are, whether they are procurement issues or not, these projects have not gotten out the door. So there's a big lag between big announcements and implementation. And certainly for the major infrastructure projects, we're talking about 2 to 3 years. So I want to caution people. The Prime Minister made another big announcement, which we welcome, the START program, where members of Parliament will be allocated 150 million. And immediately after the announcement, everybody, all constituents asking when will their road be fixed. But we don't know how long it will take, one, through the consultative process, and secondly, through the procurement process for work to actually start.
And the government's performance in the health sector also received criticisms from the opposition spokesman on finance. According to Mr. Robinson, up to the point of the presentation of the throne speech and the presentation of the expenditure package, no accountability has been given to the unaccounted for funds purportedly spent on the retrofitting of the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James.
We have heard about all the major improvements in the health sector, but we have not gotten accountability for the billions of dollars that have been spent on Cornwall region, which nobody can tell us where that money got. It is at least about 10 to 15 billion that the government has not been able to tell us where that money has gone and what can we see for that. Ministry of Education gets less than half page. For the greatest challenge that the country faces, we went through the Orlando Patterson report. There is no status of the implementation of the recommendations. You would expect that you would have an implementation to say of the 200 recommendations, we have done 50 already. We plan to deal with another 50 in the next financial year. No, but we hear something called trend, transform education for national development. It sounds good, but what we want to know is what is the government doing with those recommendations and where is the implementation?
That was opposition spokesman on finance, planning, and the public service, Mr. Julian Robinson. The People's National Party is also repeating its call for the managing director of the National Housing Trust, NHT, to resign. According to the Shadow Minister of Housing and Sustainable Living, Senator Floyd Morris, the botched deal between the NHT and Dexim Holdings Limited and the untidy non-disclosure agreement highlights the need for greater transparency and accountability for public officials. Senator Morris says attempts by various individuals to access the information regarding the court order were met with the same response from the NHT that they cannot be released as they are subject to a non-disclosure agreement. Senator Morris says that the document now released proves the utterances made by the NHT were false and that the NHT representatives, including the managing director, were dishonest in their disclosure to the country on this very serious matter. Senator Morris says all of those involved must be held accountable. According to Dr. Morris, the NHE has been an institution that Jamaicans have placed tremendous faith and confidence in. But he added that that institution has been one of the best public institutions over the past 40 years and should not have individuals who are going to distort the truth about agreements that have been forged with private companies run institution. The government has allocated funds totaling $6.2614 million to suppliers participating in the New Limb, New Life initiative, which is geared towards providing support for physically disabled Jamaicans requiring limbs. Checks in the sum were presented to Surgix Jamaica Limited and Tutu Prosthetics, which will provide prosthetics for the first set of beneficiaries. Of Health and Wellness contributed 5,900, that should be $5,941,400 of the provision. The presentations were made during a handover ceremony at the Sir John Cooling Rehabilitation Center in St. Andrew earlier this week. Speaking during the ceremony, Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said the promotion of health lifestyles is a pivotal component of the initiative, and he pointed out that 80% of amputations in Jamaica are linked to diabetes, noting that this highlights the urgent need for preventative care and rehabilitative interventions. According to the minister, everyone who are restored are expected to become an ambassador for a very important cause to encourage others not to play around with their lifestyle. Dr. Tofton said the initiative is not only providing prosthetic devices, but facilitating the restoration of lost mobility and improving the quality of beneficiaries' lives. The ministry has allocated $50 million for the program that is administered through the Compassionate Fund program, which resources are allocated to eligible amputees who have lost limbs due to diabetes, arterial disease, trauma, and cancer, with grants of up to $500,000 per person. In other news now, the Police High Command has issued an appeal to members of the public who may have information that can assist them to come forward as they try to crack the case to do with the death of popular entertainer 29-year-old Stephanie Williams. The police says persons can call via police emergency 119 number, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. Miss Williams went missing on or about Thursday, August 24 last year, and up to Valentine's Day was not seen. A missing person report was made to the Constant Spring Police by her mother, and as a result of that report, the police commenced a missing persons and possible murder investigation. On Wednesday, February 14, the skeletal remains of a body suspected to be that of a medic was found in a cane field in Wallen, St. Catherine. Several lines of inquiry were made, several persons interviewed, and statements collected. It is also to be noted that case conferences were held and significant support was given by the Criminal Investigation Branch CIB headquarters in Kingston. The remains will be processed and compared with DNA samples to determine the true identity of this skeletal remains. 39-year-old Kavina James, otherwise called Nile, of Burnside Valley District in St. Andrew, has been charged with murder, possession of prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony following an incident on Conroy Lane in Kingston on Friday, April 28, 2023. Dead is a 28-year-old Akeem Barnaby, otherwise called Kaka, of West Avenue in Kingston. Reports are that about 12:08 p.m., James alighted from a motor vehicle and opened gunfire, hitting Barnaby to the upper body. Barnaby was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. James was arrested and charged following an interview, and his court date is being arranged. Over in Manchester, the Manchester Police Division has made significant developments in the investigation of a shooting incident that occurred at a bar on Coffee Grove Street, Porus, Manchester, on January 5 this year. The following charges being laid against Kimani Jones, a 33-year-old construction worker from Springbound District, Porus in Manchester. He was charged for murder, wounding with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, using a firearm to commit a felony, and the incident resulted in the death of O'Neill Henry, otherwise called a farmer of Bottom Coffee Grove, Manchester, and the injury of another man. According to eyewitness accounts, the men were among patrons at the bar when Jones arrived on a motorcycle at the individual. The pillion reportedly opened fire at the patrons. Subsequently, both individuals fled the scene on the motorcycle. Upon the police and another man were seen with gunshot wounds. Both men were taken to hospital where Henry was pronounced dead and the injured man admitted in serious condition. Jones was pointed out during an identification parade as the person driving the motorcycle during the incident. He was subsequently arrested and charged. The charges were laid after a question and answer session conducted in the presence of his attorney. Arrangements are being made for him to attend court. It's now 6:52, making that 8 minutes going up to the hour of 7 o'clock. You're listening to news on NRP Radio, your primary Christian source for news, sports, and the weather on nrpmediaja.com. Reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitations. Let's now move on to give you some items of sports right here inside of our evening news roundup, right here on NRP Radio. Let's do it in fine style. It's brought to you by our friends at Hepburn's Glass, located in Kingston, Jamaica.
Burns Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your window, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none, with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 908-0962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass. Quality service is our priority.
Six minutes now, going up to the hour of 7 o'clock. The clock is ticking and the sports stories are here. We kick off on football. Manchester City ended Chelsea's 22-game unbeaten home run to move level on points at the top of the Women's Super League table. In one of the biggest blockbuster fixtures of the season, City proved their title-challenging credentials in a game with a few clear-cut chances. WSL top scorer Khadijah Shaw delivered again for the visitors, increasing her season tally to 14 goals with a clinical finish in the first half after Jess Park robbed Erin Cuthbert of possession high up to the pitch. Chelsea almost grabbed the dramatic stoppage time equalizer, but 19-year-old goalkeeper Kahira Keating made a stunning double save, first denying Jalina Kankovic before raising a strong left arm to block Sojik Nunist's effort. Shaw was a constant threat throughout, striking wide moments after her goal before forcing an excellent save from goalkeeper Hannah Hampton at close range. Hampton made another crucial save to stop Chloe Kelly, doubling City's lead in the second half, while Chelsea and Cuthbert came agonizingly close. The hosts were frustrated not to be awarded a penalty when Alex Greenwood appeared to make contact with Mayra Ramirez in the box in the first half, but on the whole, they were unable to test Keating. The Blues are looking to win a fifth successive title in Emma Hayes' final season, but City remain their fiercest rivals, now second in the table on goals scored. That's sports in the NRP Evening News. Brought to you by, they are located at 13 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston. We're going to be heading overseas now as we bring to you the latest from the Voice of America in terms of the international news.
This is VOA News. I'm Alexis Strope. President Biden is hoping Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny's apparent death will spur Congress into approving more aid for Ukraine. AP Washington correspondent Sagar Meghani reports.
President Biden says Alexei Navalny's apparent death brings new urgency to the need for more U.S. aid to Ukraine. Asked if the Russian opposition leader's reported passing will spur the GOP-led House to act.
I hope to God it helps.
With U.S. officials saying Ukrainian troops are running out of vital munitions in the fight against Russia, but the House has not moved on a Senate-passed bill to send billions more in aid to Ukraine and has now gone on a recess.
2 weeks. What are they thinking? My God.
The president says the clock is ticking as concerned whether the U.S. is still a reliable ally. Earlier this week,
we are not going to be forced into action.
And while House Speaker Mike Johnson says he personally supports aiding Ukraine, his plan for moving the aid is unclear. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Thank you so much for listening there to the latest from the international scene, courtesy of the Voice of America. Keep it locked right here on NRP Radio, your station for the nation, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations. Let's keep on then to the weather that's coming your way momentarily. Let's just give you this one more time and we move along to the weather report and forecast. And good evening to you and welcome now to the weather report and forecast. The Met Service says that there is a significant feature of a ridge across Jamaica. The ridge is currently causing predominantly dry conditions across the island and is expected to continue until Sunday. However, by Monday, a prefrontal trough is forecast to move into the vicinity of the island, leading to increased cloudiness and occasional showers beginning across western parishes. These conditions should become more pronounced on Tuesday, when a frontal system is expected to begin impacting Jamaica's weather, bringing colder than normal temperatures. In the 24-hour forecast, tonight, mainly fair. Tomorrow morning and afternoon, mostly sunny and becoming windy across most parishes. In the 3-day forecast, Sunday, mostly sunny and becoming windy. Monday, partly cloudy with occasional showers, especially across western and central parishes. Tuesday, cloudy with occasional showers across most parishes. Also expect temperatures to become cooler than normal. Stand by now for the time signal, and then we'll come back to complete our newscast. Psalm 37 verse 8 says, "Don't get angry. Don't be upset. It only leads to trouble." This is NRP Media and Radio. The time is 7 o'clock. Thank you very much. And as we continue in the weather report and forecast, in terms of other current regional features at this time, weather features, there is a high pressure system over the western Atlantic and a low pressure system across the south central Caribbean Sea. Minimum temperatures expected for Kingston tonight, 24 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperatures expected for Montego Bay tonight, 23 degrees Celsius. That's our weather report and forecast. And with that, we've come to the end of our news presentation for this evening. But before we go, the headlines once again. The opposition People's National Party cautions the public to be wary of the pronouncements by the government following yesterday's throne speech. Government continues to make progress in the implementation of the recommendations of the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission, JETC. Government has also allocated funds totaling 6.261 million to 2 suppliers participating in the New Limb, New Life initiative. The People's National Party calls on the director of the National Housing Trust to resign. The police seeks public's help to solve the murder of a popular entertainer, Medic. And in sports, Manchester City ended Chelsea's 22-game unbeaten home run. And that all that happened on a day like this. The full half an hour package of news this evening came to you courtesy of NRP Radio, reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitations.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
And radio.
The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Reaching you where you are, no boundaries, no limitations. Here is your invitation to join us again on Monday morning at 6:30 for the regular news package that starts at the NRP break of day newscast at 6:30 Monday morning. But between tomorrow and that time, we'll definitely be open to providing you with information as they become available to us from the different sources that we pull our news. On behalf of the entire news and production teams, I'm Leon Nat, groggy side due to a challenge that I have, but we are hoping that at least you heard me and that you're following my voice. We encourage you to join this growing medium. That's NRP Radio and NRP Media. Please go to our YouTube channel right now. Right now, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our channel. It's at nrpmediaja.com. Sorry, NRP Media JA. That's our YouTube channel, NRP Media JA. And our radio platform is on 24 hours per day. Music and features are there. Bless you for you to be able to, follow what's taking place across the world. Reminding you that coming up at 9 o'clock tonight, I'll be back with you for the program. The program is the Weekends Gospel Show that will be coming your way at 10 o'clock. Sorry, 9 o'clock on a night like this. So stay with me as we close off the news right here on this station on an evening like this. We thank you and we look forward to you joining us at that time. God be the glory. Great things He hath done. Good evening.
It's new. It's the Upper Room at 8 p.m. The newest and most riveting and engaging discussion program on biblical matters. Once again, right here on nrpmediaja.com every Sundays, 8 to 10 p.m. It's all about things you know, things you thought you know, and things you're not truly sure about. nrpmediaja.com, reaching you where you are. No boundaries, no limitations.
Hepburn's Glass Supplies is the latest trend-setting supplier of glass and mirrors in the industry. We specialize in tinted and clear glasses, as well as mirrors for all your windows, doors, and closets at very competitive prices. To maximize your shopping experience, we stock 316 and 1/8 mirror thickness and 316 and quarter thickness in our entire stock of float glasses. We have in stock gloves, cutters, and suction cups at unbeatable prices. Our customer service is second to none, with same-day cutting for your specific measurements. Visit our office at 13 Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Call us at 908-0962 or email hepburn.glass@gmail.com. Hepburn's Glass, quality service is our priority.
6 minutes now after the hour of 7 o'clock. It's now time for us to log off from our stream with the news and bring you at this time go back to our radio platform that's on nrpmediaja.com. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook right now, we're going to be closing the news stream and ask that you go on over to our radio platform at nrpmediaja.com. We're going to be presenting right now the GIS package produced and presented in the time